So my name is Jessica. I have been working at this movie theater since 2007, and I've been a manager since 2008.
I'm Dana Weidman. I'm a professor of Communications, Media Arts, and Film at Dutchess Community College. I've been teaching here for 22 years. Hard to believe.
I'm Katie. I am a mom and a licensed veterinary technician.
I'm John. I'm a school teacher, and I just love going to the movies.
I know before COVID, we always used to talk about how movie theaters were just different, like we started losing business and things like that.
I think the century of cinema has come to an end, and COVID might have expedited that final fade to black.
I just don't think as many people go to the movies post-COVID anymore. I think they got so used to doing movies at home.
People have large screen televisions at home. They can screen content at home in a comfortable chair.
They're like, I'll just wait for it to come out on home video, or I'll just wait for it to come out on streaming, or I'll just wait for it to come out on video and buy it, or rent it at home and not have to deal with people in the theater.
I think people are more afraid of being in a room with a lot of people, so that keeps people out of movie theaters.
Once COVID hit, I mean, it's like night and day. It was like business all the time, maybe like every day during the week doing like at least 1,000 admits. And I say now we're lucky if we hit 400 during the week. I don't think they'll ever die out completely, no.
I think we'll see more of like theaters like the ones that have like dining experiences and less seats in the theater and a more personal experience and relaxed experience than the bunch of seats crammed right next to each other that we've seen for forever.
I think movie theaters are on their way out.
I think that people still, or at least a lot of people still love going to the movies, you know, the feeling of going to the movies and that whole experience. So there may be less movie theaters in the future, but I feel like there'll still be some.
There is kind of like, I don't know, like a beauty with going to the movie theater. There's like a real special aspect about watching something on the big screen, no matter what it is. I mean, you can be watching a comedy, you could be watching an action movie. It's a different experience when you're at the movies.
I just don't think that that there's a reason to save the movie theater. I think some of us are going to go to revival cinemas, you know, for that fun old-timey experience. But for the most part, it's just not an experience that people want to have anymore.
It's a day out. I don't want to say it's an adventure, but it's just more of, you know, an experience.
Obviously, everyone likes to have snacks. Popcorn is good. But just the whole experience in the movie taking you someplace.
Some of my favorite memories or most memorable memories from growing up involve going to the movies. So to me, it's like going to the movies is just a whole experience and a whole thing, especially when you're going to see a movie that really deserves to be seen in a theater.
Going with family I went on my first date with my husband going to the movies. So, you know, we have that thing, you know, that we always cherish. The movies is a special thing to us, and then kind of getting to experience that with our children and going to see movies with them has been special.
You know, movie theaters used to have that special feeling about them, you know, where you went in and you knew exactly what you were getting. Like you were going in for a showing, it was going to be fun, you know, and I feel like that's sort of faded a little bit. The atmosphere itself of like a movie theater, you know, you got the popcorn smell as soon as you walk into the lobby, there's all that commotion, you're sitting down in your chair ready to watch the show, and everyone's got kind of like this sort of excited feeling, like you can feel it in the atmosphere around you.
I miss the days when going to the movies was an event. It was like, this movie's coming out, everybody wants to see it. You're literally lined up around the theater waiting to buy your ticket. You're lined up around the theater waiting to get in to see your movie. And then you're like trying to run in there and get the perfect seat and the best seat. You know, it's nice having reserved seating at theaters, but to some degree, there's something about that experience of like, I had to get there early, I had to be first in line, I had to run to the theater, I had to get the seat in the spot that I wanted to make sure, you know, it was perfect experience.
I mean, seeing Jurassic Park for the first time was probably very memorable, you know, watching him like look up and see the brontosaurus, like that was pretty epic.
I mean, vividly remember being younger and waiting to go see Empire Strikes Back at the theater where we lived, and it was one of those little small town theaters. It wasn't a big chain theater, and we literally had to line up around the building to the back of the building. And I remember that line moves and moves and moves and moves, and then it stops, and then you're sitting there for 3 hours waiting for them to let everybody out and then start letting everybody for the next show in.
You know, that experience of being the first person to see the film, it's hard to do that with streaming at home on your television set. I like going out with my friends. I think movies are a great thing to have a conversation about. You go see a movie, you sit there next to your friend in the dark for 2 hours, then you go out to dinner afterward, and you talk about it. I think there's a reason why we've gone on dates to the movies for a long time.
Yeah, going on a date with my husband for the first time was pretty special.
You know, movies tell stories about relationships, that we can gauge our relationship when we're watching the movie.
We saw Cable Guy.
You know, the fun thing about the cinema is you went, you saw it, it was over Friday night, and then you could talk about it.
Since people are so used to now, post-COVID, sitting in their living room and watching a movie, I feel like if theaters were more of an atmosphere like your home living room.
Having a headset so that you can kind of also tune out everybody else in the theater.
People would be more apt to go into the theaters.
Maybe cheaper prices.
I think it's okay to say that this art form has come to an end, and it's going to inspire other art forms.
You know, there's no reason to not see a movie the way it's supposed to be seen, which is on the big screen.
I don't know, getting to go to the movies with my kids for the first time. We took them to the drive-in when they were like 6 days old. I am not tearing up. I'm sorry.
It's okay. She just loves movies.
She's so passionate about her movies.
I am. Ugh.
This is where I get it from.
Do I look like I'm crying?
Yes.